This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
You are listening to Copy Chief Radio. Welcome back, Chiefs. Today, Kevin has something extra special for you. I will let him tell you about it.
That's right. It is extra special because we're going to double our pleasure and double our fun with two guests today. Pamela, Hermann, and Patty Dominguez are here. Their company is Create Buzz Now, and they are amazing at helping you create deep customer loyalty, among other things. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Patty you heard first, and then Pamela.
I thought they were going to both talk in unison the whole time. What happened to that?
Patty,
We have to get some practice.
Yeah, take some more improv classes or something. So you guys, you co-host also a great video show. I love the title. It's called The Morning Wood. It's so
Most
funny.
guys get it. A lot of women don't.
Really? That's hilarious. Like they're just walking around saying, oh my God, I woke up to The Morning Wood the other day. It was so good. Oh, really?
I feel so good now.
It's WOULD, The Morning Wood. Where can they find that? At createbuzznow.com, right?
That's correct.
Yes. And so, that's their insight strategies and smart moves for small business owners. Let's give like a quick 2-minute intro each for you guys, because you both have amazing credentials. And tell everybody first, starting with you, Patty, your background and, what led you to today.
No, Patty, you introduce me and I'll introduce you.
Oh, she's taking over the reins, Kevin. Too bad.
Yeah. No, it's so weird because I was raised Lutheran. And I have like major problems with self-promotion. So I'm like, Patty, will you introduce me? And then I'll tell everybody how awesome you are.
Oh, that sounds good to me. Yeah, definitely. So here's Pamela Hermann. She is an author and has really a lot of expertise around really having an understanding of customers and how they interact with.
Oh, did we lose you?
That's a cliffhanger.
That's a setup. She's like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this. I'm out.
That's hilarious.
All right, I'll fill in the blanks until we can get Patty back. Are we still rolling then?
Yes.
Yeah, she'll come back. Here, I'll take over for her so we can keep the. I like this exchange. So I can't do a Patty imitation, but your book is The Customer Manifesto, and it was ranked number 3 by business.com, which is pretty awesome. And they, as a customer service book that every business owner should read because loyalty is tied to the bottom line profits of your business. So that is a little bit, just one single credential about Pamela Hermann. Yeah. Pamela Hermann, talk about me, Patty Dominguez.
Well, Patty's quite lovely. Actually, Pat, as much as I'm boots on the street, the perspective through the lens of the customer, Patty's a Fortune 50 strategist, meaning that she has spent almost her entire career working with consumer packaged goods, the family of brands underneath Kraft. And best way to describe Patty's expertise is that, big enterprise level companies, they've got enormous budgets, like multi-million dollar budgets to go out for marketing and advertising. And so they hire like the best agencies in the world out there. And the person that's the conduit between those 2 points is Patty. She comes in and she's just like, let's make sure we're all measuring against metrics, that we have a nice strategy in place, that everybody's executing on the deliverables. And so she's literally the one who is cracking the whip and making sure everything happens according to plan. So she's a very, very high level strategist. So our perspective together, we call it the intersection of Main Street and Wall Street, because it's really that point where those two best practices come together. That's how we help businesses move forward faster with less frustration.
I love it. Cool. All right. And so we lost Patty's connection. Hopefully she'll be back. But we'll just keep rolling on. And so you guys created this company together. You do really cool stuff. You just had an intensive, I shouldn't call it that because by the looks of it, it was a totally relaxing kind of thing where you got a whole lot of business done over a couple of days. Tell us quickly about the retreat you just did.
Yeah. Well, there are really two parts to our consulting business with Create Buzz. And one of them is really the passion project part of our business. We've got a real soft spot in our hearts for small business owners, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and mom and pop businesses that are on Main Street. The big challenge is that they really can't afford our consulting fees. I mean, we typically, when we're marketing, we're targeting between $5 and $15 million revenue size companies. But that's the intensive that we just did, the mastermind up in the mountains of Colorado, was really designed to serve that marketplace. So we brought together 10 small businesses, and we were just like, let's teach you everything that we're using with our high-paying consulting clients, and let's just move the dial for you. And it was mind-blowing. I mean, just to be able to give a small business owner clarity on, who they're marketing to, taking a look at their marketing dollars and see where it's not effective, so that we can start to increase profits, understand the story. A lot of the stuff that you talk about with Copy Chief, actually, Kevin, has to do with, identifying your perfect market, right? And that's really where the train leaves the station with our intensives.
Yeah, really cool. I love the stuff you guys are doing over there. So let's do a little bit of coaching. I won't ask you to give away too many of your trade secrets, but let's just talk about the status of small business right now out in the world, because things have changed so much. I'm thinking about if I am a mom and pop, right? Yeah. And I have a brick and mortar, or even if I'm starting online, vastly different than it was even a year ago. Like, things are changing so fast right now.
It's really true. And it's funny you should say that, because our marketing message changes every year, because the education level of our target audience improves every single year. They're still several years behind, but it goes to show how fast things are moving. So there was a really, really good, I'm a nerd around Gallup. I love all the research that they do. And so there was a report they did a couple years ago called The State of the American Consumer, and I just devoured that document. One of the graphics they had in there showed the relationship between business closings versus business startups, and it's really interesting because they've been tracking this data for about 30 plus years. And they really wanted to understand, okay, so of all the small businesses out there, let's try to understand the relationship. And, we had that little financial collapse in 2008. And for the first time in recorded history, these two lines intersect. Typically, business startups outpaced closures by about 100,000 year over year. But what happened in 2008 is all of a sudden those two lines intersected. And now we're upside down. About 70,000 more businesses close than start. Wow. In today's economy. And they never really kind of righted the ship. And so I started pondering this. I'm like, okay, so other than money, like I have pretty healthy money blueprint in my mind, and it's always easy to go out and create new money for me. But at that point in time, it was a huge challenge. But now it's just like, okay, financially we're fairly stable. So what the heck is going on? And to your point, we really believe that there are three changing market forces that are affecting the way small businesses are either successful or they're closing their shop. And one of them has to do around the economics of the business. And you talk about lifetime value of the customer a lot in your work. And that's really one metric, just one. We really track two metrics with our clients. One's customer acquisition and one's lifetime value. And so we focus a lot on the lifetime value, and that's where customer loyalty comes in. So that's one force. The other one has to do all about the social forces. And when you think about consumers, what are they doing? How are they behaving? Well, it's all about mobile right now. And a lot of small businesses don't know how to leverage one of the most powerful tools that's ever been created. Right?
It's so critical. We could do 5 shows just on that, right? I mean, man. People are just totally, as my daughter would say, confuffled.
They are confuffled big time. How old is your daughter?
She's 10.
She's wise. She's a wise 10-year-old. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and then the third one is that technology piece. And really a lot of the technology that's being designed to create efficiencies for us in business are really just creating overwhelm and confusion. And what happens when we're confused, Kevin?
We do nothing.
What is the confused? We do nothing. The confused mind says no. So that's what a lot of small businesses are doing. And when I ask them, hey, what's your plan? Holding up my smartphone, what's your plan to get your business on the path of consumers who are looking for you, and I hold up my phone, they mostly shrug their shoulders. They don't know enough to make a decision. And you know as well as I do, that's a business killer right there. You've got to have at least enough information to make a decision. Yes, no. That's it. Stand in the middle of the road, you're going to get run over.
That's a great point. And, I think about when I think of brick and mortar small business owners and their challenging foray online to improve their business, they all buy SEO because it's the one thing that makes sense to them. All right, I search for stuff all the time. If people were searching for my product, my restaurant, my best pizza in town, and I was the first thing to come up, surely they'll come into my store and buy a pizza, right? And so they get that much, but then unfortunately, so much SEO doesn't work, and it takes time, and they don't have the patience. And so you're right. I mean, it breaks my heart to know that with a few little tweaks and just knowing, like you said, the power of mobile alone to their business, but because they're harried, because they're in over their head, and because this whole online thing is totally confusing to them, they do nothing. But guess what? Patty is back.
Hey, Patty.
Sorry, guys. Hey, guys, I'm back.
Convenient.
Of course this happened, right? Of course, I'm like in the middle of saying something so profound and eloquent, and then I got knocked down. My apologies to you guys.
It's all good. I took over as you. And I had the benefit of notes in front of me, so I was totally eloquent.
Awesome, it's all good.
So we're all caught up, and so Patty, I'll let you take kind of my next question. We talked about the status of small business, and of course, this could be online or offline. But where do you think small businesses? Where do they go wrong with it beyond just not knowing what to do? What are some other really common mistakes that they could maybe avoid?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the information that Pam covered is just so essential. And then outside of that, the way that a lot of small business owners act is like, okay, well, let me look at what everybody else is doing, right? So if I'm a pizza place, I'm gonna be looking at what everybody else is doing in the pizza place arena, and so it just gets lost in translation, right? It's just like everybody has this Me Too approach, and I think it's just the wrong approach in general. The other side of it for a business that has more of an intellectual type of an offering, right? We have a beloved client who is absolutely fantastic. She's an accountant, so she's a CPA, has a financial advisory firm. And from a positioning standpoint, that they have something very unique. However, she has invested in print ads, all kinds of print ads. And to be honest, we were looking at that and it all looks exactly the same, right? It doesn't look like anything else that would really stand out. The other side of it is that they have a tendency to say, oh, we have this amazing process. And then they're talking about the process, right? She's talking about her spreadsheets. She's talking about how her partner has all of this incredible like expertise in the spreadsheet and the algorithm. And people hearing that are just going to completely say, I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. Yeah. I don't know if it's for me. So it just causes mass confusion. I think you guys covered it. When the mind is confused, it just shuts off. Like, I don't know what you do. I don't know if I want it because I don't even want to go there anymore. So I think the whole premise of this is whatever your offering is, it really has to stand out. And then whatever your offering is, as complex as you may think it is, you just really have to put it in perspective and make it just as simple, simple as possible is really what's going to win.
Yeah, such a great point. It's counterintuitive, isn't it? Right? It's like most people can't answer the question, what do you do? Like if say, you're a CPA and you say, well, I'm a CPA, and immediately the person goes, They're just like, they go blank and they're like, okay, I don't want to talk about that. Right. But if you said instead, I'm just off the top of my head, this might sound hype or something, but say, well, I work with small business owners to help them save, up to 50% a year on the taxes, on their taxes, or I help small business owners get the most deductions possible. Well, suddenly now just doing that, you're starting to segment a little bit. And it's a simple idea that you can't be for everybody, right?
Exactly.
If you just create a little bit of a specialty. So if you're the person who asked you, if they're an employee somewhere and they only pay personal taxes, who cares that you're a CPA anymore?
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. Where are you from? I'm from Des Moines. Oh, cool. My uncle's from Des Moines. Have that conversation, right? But to the small business owner who's tired of paying so much tax, well, now you've defined it in a way where you can actually have a fruitful conversation. So you bring up a great point about them just wanting to tell everything, or they think that talking on a high level about what they do, as if they're like always at a conference with other CPAs, makes them sound better at it or more professional. And it's just the opposite.
Well, and the way we describe it, and we had a lot of ahas this weekend in our mastermind with our clients that were in attendance, is that the way we describe it is like you're trying to read the label from inside the jar. And it's really hard to do. We even struggle with that. We work with you, Kevin, to help us kind of map out how is this message landing, because we're so close to it and we know it so well. And it's really like it's almost a requirement that you bring somebody from the outside that's objective, that can really take a look at it with a keen eye and say, this is where you're hitting it, this is where you're missing it. And so we talked a lot about your work actually this weekend, because it's so essential to understanding, how does the brain receive the information? Not how do you deliver it, like from the front of the brain that's really evolved, your stuff. Everybody's brilliant, right? Everybody's got their cool thing.
Right.
But the challenge is trying to get that message into the receiver's brain from the easiest portal, which is, it's where we receive information. And they're just trying to understand, are you somebody that I like? Do you make sense? And if you start going into this lingo that is really specific to what you do, you just turn people off and they're just like, never mind, moving on.
Yeah. Exactly. We're all in our lizard brain as on the surface, right? And so, but we want to connect with people in their like cerebral cortex, which is, I think, where we analyze, right, and think deeper about stuff. So we speaking to someone's lizard, and they just have this lizard brain filter up, going, nope, don't get it, not getting through. So that's a really valuable thing you're teaching people. Wow, super cool. All right. All right. I feel like we've talked about all the problems. Let's give, because we're all about solutions, right? But we could go on forever about how tough all this stuff is. But what is some low-hanging fruit? If I'm a small business owner, what can I do right now that's going to move the needle and not upend my world trying to get it done?
Yeah.
Patty, go.
Yes.
Fire.
Yeah. From our perspective, the way that we always tell people is your brand, it really starts there. It's really about capturing the mind share as much as you can. And from that, instead of it being this over intellectualized verbiage that we talked about, it's just about talking how your solution can apply to the person on the receiving end, right? It's what would life be like if I had
See, there it is, another cliffhanger.
It's really anytime that
it's like the universe is like, don't give that away. It's too precious. I'll jump in. It was really, I don't know where Patty was going with that. I'm sure it was genius, and she'll pipe right in and finish her sentence. But I will share with you guys the biggest breakthrough through this weekend, which was so much fun to watch, was that people really didn't understand their perfect customer. You guys talk about this all the time, right? And when you go through an intensive exercise and you really drill down on all of the different attributes of the one perfect customer that you're looking for, and you guys know the very, very small percentage of businesses actually go through this exercise, but this is where profits are won and lost, is in this one exercise, because you can, like the client Patty was talking about, you can invest a lot of money in marketing and print ads, for example, and it might be landing on the doorsteps of people who are not your perfect customer. So in the absence of understanding that, you can piss away a lot of marketing dollars. And, when margins are tight, you cannot afford to even have one ad go without a conversion. So the ideal customer profile is what we call it internally to our business, and super powerful. We spend a lot of time on that one particular exercise and encourage every business to do that as well.
Yeah, that alone, that is so true. If you could just do that one thing, so many people just don't think about that, right? Like, again, just going back to the pizza place, I see a vacant spot in a strip mall and go, everybody loves my pizza. I'm going to cook some in that building and everybody will smell it and come and want pizza. And it just doesn't work that way.
No, it's much more complex.
Yeah, you got to go, well, who exactly would want this pizza and how can I make it a dream come true or the easiest thing in the world for them to come in and have this pizza? So that's a very simple version of it. But okay, well, Pam, thank you for being here. Thank Patty for being here. I'm sorry she had technical difficulties. I've been on the losing end of that tech problem before. It's very frustrating. So I feel for her. But she was dynamite while she was here, of course.
I feel like we need to talk for like 40 minutes next time because we're just scratching the surface.
I know. Yeah, we will do that. We'll do a two-parter and we'll dig in. Jonathan doesn't like to give too much away. See, he's all about teasing people with some good information. But we'll
That's right. Make me the bad guy.
That's it.
He's gonna sneak one up. Hey, I got this in Dropbox, man. Just record an intro.
That's right. Just don't listen to it just yet. All right. So it's createbuzznow.com. It's Patty Hermann. I'm sorry. It's Pamela Hermann and Patty Dominguez. They're dynamite. Go learn what they're doing, get some great info, and tune into The Morning Wood. Their video podcast is awesome. Pamela, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having us. Hey, one quick last little thing, Kevin.
Sure.
We're going to be doing another intensive in January in Florida on the beaches. So for anybody who's looking to hang out with us for a few days, join us then.
Well, we both happen to live in Florida, so we may be seeing you
We
there.
just got invited, I think.
Yeah, that was a very direct invitation.
Either that or we're going to crash. So
right. It doesn't matter. We're there.
Thanks, awesome. You guys.
Okay, thank you.
Good stuff. So, Kevin, what do you have come first next time?
Next on Copy Chief Radio, our friend Melanie Saladino is going to join us. She's a top copywriter, and she was, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, she was with me at that AWAI job fair. And so we're going to talk about how to fast track your freelancing career. So that's going to be a really good show.
All right. Looking forward to it. So another Copy Chief Radio is in the can. We will be back in your earbuds next time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Copy Chief Radio. If you like what you heard here and you want more, go to copychiefradio.com.
This is the podcastfactory.com.